my students' work. This is their work. Very terrible. What is here? This is in the Middle America here. Mexico here. And something it could be in Africa, in West Africa. Because for 7th graders, they don't have very much knowledge about the world. But for 9th graders, yes, it's in the Middle East. And I would like to invite you to tell us your guessing why you think this story happened in the Middle East.
Well, I based my assumptions on the background of the second picture, by the way the buildings, the houses are arranged. This looks like a country from the Middle East. And in the first picture, the way the woman is dressed.
Yes. Yeah, so students could understand how geography knowledge can help them to understand the context of the story better. Okay, and I want my students to learn to summarize the story. So I asked them to read chapter 1 to chapter 3. Then I asked them the 6 questions. After this, this one is popular, named SWBST. So after reading the 3 chapters, students have to say somebody who, Armin, wanted to run away. But he didn't have enough money, so he worked in Turkey for around 1 or 2 months. Then he, Okay, some information here, and then they wrote down a paragraph. Without these clues, students are not able to write the summary. But with these worksheets, they really help them a lot. So this is my students' work. Okay, they need some ideas. They need some components to organize. And after because I meet my students twice. Every 2 weeks, so they will forget a lot of things, right? So I give them some homework. They have to finish the other 7 chapters, and for each chapter they have to write some summary with 1 or 2 sentences. And these are their work. And after that, when they come back, I ask them again. So now, please draw the routes. Draw his escape routes at each point and tell me what he did or what happened there. Again, all right? And for this, because we talk about thinking, so when they go home, I ask them again to think about some questions they want to ask Armin or ask Fred, okay, or ask the other readers. And here we have 3 lines. The first line is students' first version. And for next, I want them to ask other questions. Because if students, they ask open questions such as WH, then they have to shift it into yes-no questions. If that is yes-no questions, then they have to switch it into WH questions. And then I told my students, you would find sometimes open-ended questions would be better. And that would be more critical than yes-no questions. Then my students asked me a very good question. My students say, teacher, how old is Armin an open question? Yeah, start with H, right? How? This is a good question from my students. Then I asked her, so why 17 years old is an important issue in this book? Why not 15 or 16? Why 17? Just as I mentioned, because Armin stayed in England for 1 year. So next year, he became an adult. He was not a child labor anymore. But when he stayed in UK and worked for Fred, he was a child labor then. Okay, so and students they have to they have to think about 10 questions. After that, they choose the 5 most important questions. And again, we just categorize the different questions, what they want to learn in this book. Some students talk about the choice. One student talked something illegal, but I found that they were more interested in something about language learning. They have a lot of inference here, okay? And for this, I would like them to do some simulation. For example, in each group, we have 4 people in the group. Then you will be Armin, you will be Rose, you will be Fred, and you will be Armin's mom. And I give them an empathy map. They have to fill in the empathy map. And this is my student's work. For example, one is Fred. He said, what did you hear? He said, Armin said, me too, Rose for Rose. And Rose said, I feel very happy. And what does Fred is the big guy, remember? He was Rose's dad. So when he heard this, how would he think? Okay? First, it's very good to have a worker, cheap worker like Armin, and because you don't have to pay much money, but he came in love with my daughter, right? Make students into someone's shoes, okay? And this one is from Armin. He said, he heard, where are your work papers? This is a question from the police because Fred called the police, okay? And so we want students. So how does he feel? What is his pain, right? And this class is special because I want my students to organize some important information. However, I was not there that day. So what I could do is design all the sheets and have the substitute teachers to do all that for me. And let's see what I did. Students learn these new words, and then they have to try this journey. Okay, it's interesting. I hope you could do it right now. Just try to take the journey of the refugees. Okay, here on page 8. And I hope your group work together. Just one play the game, and the other takes notes. First, you have to decide your gender, male or female. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, male or female. Which one would you? Female. Okay, because most of them are female. And yes, then which country would you go? And yeah, which country would you go? Each. Okay, then circle it. Then circle it. So Egypt or Turkey? Which one would you choose? Turkey, then you circle Turkey. And what is your second choice? And take down some notes. Okay, so male or female? Male, right? Male. And then keep going. So which country would you go? Egypt or Turkey? Yeah, everybody now. Okay, now everyone, do you like this game? Sometimes it's really sad. I ask my students, are you alive or not at the last? Every choice is difficult, right? Okay, group here, fine. You can play it later. Okay. And some would be happy and get together with their family. And one group died in my class. And the two groups they were still alive, but they lost everything and get poor. They lost everything and get poor. Yeah. So and you find it's really, I would say, it's really a suffering to make any choice. Right. And next, so okay. Now you please look at page 9. After that, I have my students scan the QR code here, and they have to find the push, pull, hold factors of each story. So this one, everyone knows it, and Ella, James, and at that time in November, the tragedy happened about the Fancy Charming. So I think my students have to know that. So again here, this is a news report about this lady. So students have to analyze the four stories. Okay, this is my students already. Okay, this one is for Ella. This one is for Amen. This one is for Fancy Charming, and this one is for James. My students read. Okay. And this is almost the last class, and I just want my students to find some rules or to generalize some rules of migration. So here, again, we use the push-pull hold factors and have students to have a report. This one is called the connect report. Let me see if I have it. All right. Here, for example, again,